Hey everyone. Hey, if you're watching the replay, I purchased an estate this afternoon just as I was closing, and so now I need to process it. Let's see what I got. All right. I'm still waiting for my mail person to pick up the mail. It wasn't a good guy. His name is Joe. It wasn't Joe. Um, understand he's out, but it's like I don't get any service if Joe's not around. And I do appreciate him. I'll show you what I got. I got a bag. It did not have an inner sleeve, so I'm gonna put an inner sleeve in it. Yeah, I love getting old records, and I use the word old loosely. But this is on the upfront label, the best of Jimmy Reed, and best I can tell, upfront might be a budget label because sometimes the wax just doesn't look very cool. Hey, Starman, how are you? The guy I was thinking about last night on Doc's channel was Brett Smiley, not Billy Smiley, but Brett Smiley. Hello, the Bipster of all things wax packed. Hello, I collect records. Hello, how are you? I sell records. I also have some records that I listen to also. So there we go. So anyway, the best of Jimmy Reed. Someone's going to enjoy this. Yeah. Now I left my zapper in Wake Forest, so I just happen to have some labels that I'm going to pop on here, and just to price them and get me going. Yeah. What do you enjoy collecting, Bipster? You might enjoy some of the same things we enjoy. Well, me enjoy. I enjoy. So, Star, have you heard of Brett Smiley? I discovered him maybe a year ago, and I keep looking for reissues of his records, but I think a lot of them are counterfeit. This is a band called Impact. I don't know anything about them other than um, they look like a soul funk. I love late '60s, early '70s soul and funk, '50s and doo wop and country. Very cool. Do you happen to know the YouTube channel I Buy All Records? Mac Mac Stevens. I I like him. Well, there you go, Star. You'll have to check him out. I enjoy listening to him on YouTube. And one day I'll find a copy of his record that I don't have to pay um, $100. Yeah. Woohoo. Let's see. Impact. They're on Atco label. The color's a little different. I've got 55,000 45s and 33s. I've got 2,000, 20,000. Wow. We could talk records all day long, I'm sure. Probably into the night. Let's see if I can find some information about Impact, M-P-A-C-T, I-M-P-A-C-T. You're on the Atco label. Tell you folks, it got cold. It got cold last night and into today. It says it's funk, soul. All right. I got to listen to it. Yes, we could. Absolutely. Um, well, cool. Look forward to this. You know, it's like when someone brings things in they like to sell. Um, you grab what you can if it's in great condition. Now, you know, I think he said he had 368 records. I thought the same thing too. The color is a little odd. It's a little more gold than yellow. Yeah. Um, Lots of wonderful titles, folks, but they were dished and warped and other things like that. I love getting gospel records. James Cleveland and the Angelic Choir, and it's on Savoy. The thing about this genre of gospel, it can be so funky, and I mean funky, and sometimes it can be very repetitive and have lots of narrative. Either way, I like getting them. So what I'm doing today is double checking, or what I'm doing now is double checking, putting the bags that they need to. Oh, cool. Yeah. And then putting them to the side if they have to be washed. Yeah. Yeah, but every time I see Shirley Caesar, I want to buy her. So there we go. Now, this is on the Savoy label. Savoy did some blues and soul, and they probably did a lot more stuff than I don't recognize. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. There was tons of Funkydelic. I would probably say almost every, well, I would say probably 75% of the discography was represented. There was not a maggot brain. I think I would have bought it even if it was in poor condition. But this was a later Funkadelic. This one, 81, was essentially the only one that was beautiful. But there they are. Check them out. They're hanging out. Yeah. I do like their font, their little logo that they went to. Woohoo! Yeah. So I don't mind at all when things like this come in. Also, I don't mind at all when you know a buyback full of new wave comes in. Also, ooh, Richard Pryor. Who, me? I'm not him. This is on the Laugh, Laff, the Laugh label. There's their logo. He was one crazy guy. I will listen to this. Oh, I love him. Richard Pryor goes fox hunting. Red Fox and Richard Pryor. Haven't seen that one before. Yeah. Um, yeah. Don't say. I need to put the VPI next to my counter in Wake Forest. Richard Pryor. I've never had this cover before. I don't think I have anyway. Can't use that one. That one's split. Ooh, here's LaWanda. Watch it, sucker. I love LaWanda and Esther on Sanford and Son. Hey TC, good afternoon, evening, sir. Just stopped by to say hi. I can't stay. Oh, thank you so much. Processing an estate buyback today. Yeah. Well, thanks for stopping by to say hi. This is the Angelic Gospel Singers. It's on Nashboro Records. Um, the best of. This came from a store called The Wiz. I want to take it off, but I can't. Yeah, I'm going to let it stay. Uh-oh. Yeah, this one needs a bath. Bath, bath, bath. Hello, Anonymous. Yeah, this needs a bath. Hey, Mickey's Hidings. That's Sean. How are you, sir? I had a buyback today, and I'm just processing some records. I've settled my debt. Happy Easter, Stephen Batten. Thank you. Thank you much. So I'll put this in the back. It didn't come with an inner sleeve, but when I wash it, I'll give it a new inner sleeve. So I'm going to put it here backwards so that it's indication that I need to wash it. Yeah. Yeah, boy. Sorry about that. Pardon me. All right. We're doing well, thank you. Oh, that's cool. That's totally cool. Here's another hymns by Dorothy Grant of Detroit, Michigan. I don't know anything about Dorothy Grant. 76. It's got that look, that time period. It's got a pianist, an organist, and two drummers. I can imagine James Brown playing organ. This one is factory sealed. I remember it now. Factory sealed, never been opened. Yeah, so I thought, should I say my invoice and Susie didn't kill me? Oh, cool. That is cool. It wasn't a very large invoice at all. There, Mr. Sean, not at all. Sean invited me last week. Was it last week at this time? I don't know. Last week to join him for a live stream where he talked Disney records. And so I showed a bunch of Disney records. Still got some more to show. So this is sealed. Yay. Alrighty. I'll put a sticker on it tomorrow. Yay. I'm going to shuffle around a little bit. Oh, this was a cool buyback. Bootsy. It's got an inner sleeve, but it's a plastic inner sleeve, folks. You know, in the 70s, 80s, somebody was smoking. Yeah. What a cool cat. What a cool cat. Bernie Worwell's on here. Larry Hatcher. Maceo's on here. Sweatband. There was a sweatband record in that estate. Oh, that works good. Volume 2 next week. That would be great for me. There was a sweatband in there, but I didn't even inspect it. I knew that I had too much stuff going on. Collecting cards and listening about records. Yes. Yeah. What cards do you enjoy? What type of cards? I think I'm going to keep this one right here. They do start to flake away into thin air. Bootsy! I love me some Bootsy. It's so cool. That one's split. Let's try this one. I wonder how many people take the time to bag their records like I do. Then I put the record in the back with the cut facing the sky. Yeah. There we go. Boots here. This one's cool. Al Green, the Bell album. It's got a split at the top. Don't tell nobody. Doesn't bother me. I like me some Al Green. That's for sure. High power hits from Cream. What is Cream? High Records division of Cream Records Incorporated? I've never noticed that before. Otis Clay, Bill Black's Combo, Chuck Howard, O.V. Wright, Ace Cannon. I know somebody likes Ace Cannon. Benton Wood, Ann Peebles, I love her. Don Nix. Kid Dynamite, Charlie Rich, Balcony's Fault, Woody Guthrie, Willie Mitchell. Willie Mitchell was cool too. I bag all mine, and 1 week's vacation is saved for cleaning records. I collect all cards at a store and record shops for 25 years in Georgia. So is it is it sports cards, rock and roll cards, non-sports cards? Gil Scott Heron. This is one cool photograph. Yeah. This is cool. He's the guy that did the Revolution. The Revolution. I think, yeah. This is 1982 Arista. Uh-oh. All types of cars. I'm retired now. Oh, cool. I have a few packs of vintage cards. I think they're from the 90s. Yeah, they're from the 90s. They're kind of like rock and roll cards. And yeah, and then I have some Yo MTV rap cards, which I think are very cool. Yeah, it looks better when it's backed. You had a store. That is totally cool. Now, folks, these are dished, but I didn't have these. So I'll take these home. It'll be a placeholder until I find a better copy. The Ohio Players. I love me some Ohio Players. Gosh, they are so were so good. Yeah. So at least I have some placeholders until I find the ones that are better copy. But I've never seen those before. I could have tried to track down everything, see what I could find. Here's another Bootsy. Bootsy. And it's got some shrink on it. To have been a fly on the wall. Randy Brecker's on here as well as Michael Brecker. Ooh. Bernie's on here. Wow. Gary Schreider is on here. He plays guitar in Funkadelic in Parliament. Um, Bootsy Brothers on here. Macy is on here. Fred Wesley's on here. So good. Nice. Not seen those two albums. Are you talking about the Ohio Players? Yeah. I'm gonna have to get some more bags. They're over there in the file cabinet. See, I'm thinking a lot of my friends and customers are out there on a Friday night doing something, and here I am playing with records. Now, I did see Midnight Star one night. I love me some Midnight Star. That was so cool to see them. Yeah. The one guy was not there. He wrote a lot of the music. But I enjoyed this. I enjoyed Midnight Star when they played. They played the same night with Ohio Players. There was only one person left from Ohio Players, but I still enjoyed the show. I really did. Midnight Star was so good. The only thing I missed about Midnight Star is that they were, they had keyboards galore, but they were like Nords and I don't remember what brand they had. So all the sounds were sampled. I wish they had the vintage um, analog synths. That would have been great. I'm gonna grab some more bags. I'll be right back. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I like Cameo. I date the girl that posed for that cover art. Which cover art? Which record are you talking about? Yeah, tell me which girl you're talking about. Is it a Cameo record, or is it Midnight Star, or is it Ohio Players? Do you date the Honey Girl? All right, I'm back. My backs came in today. I ordered these in bulk. Um, I think there's 200 in here. Cameo album entitled Candy-O. I got to see this to make sure my mind is serving me correct. Hey, Glenn, how are you? Um, Thanks for joining, Glenn. I gotta watch your video. Glenn, it got cold up here. We had 72, but today we had 52. Um, yeah. So I think Cameo had a close connection with with Parliament Funkadelic. Cool. I'm not finding an image right now, but I have to look at it. 35, 40. It was 30. It was 34 here this morning. Yeah. 35 degrees in Florida, North Florida, North Florida. Wow. Yeah. A buddy of mine that lives in Florida texted me this morning and he was telling me how cold it was. Can't remember what he said. He said it was so cold. I don't know. He said it was 43. Wow. Hey, Alan C. Records, how are you? It's 41 in New Jersey. Holy smoke. Alan, I think you like soul and funk music also. It's 48 here. Wow. It's 32 in Georgia. Oh, I got the heater on, folks. Don't tell nobody. My mail person has not come. They said Mr. Willie's coming. So anyway, I ordered these. They come 200 in a pack. I order them in bulk. I think they're 3 mil, and they're big enough for a double disc, a double jacket. Went through his pack. It sure is. It sure is, Alan. I hear something. Sometimes the restaurant next door. So anyway, I got me some bags to put on there. So what I do is I open these up and I put 100 in a bag, and that's how I sell them, folks. I put my own little insert that says Record Crate Bags. Yeah, so there we go. But there they are, nice and clean. I like them that way. Alan won a prize. Was it last Sunday night or the Sunday before? Anyway, when I did my Sunday night sale, and I got a big Sunday night sale coming up, folks. Yeah. Here's another Boots, eh? This one is called Ultra Wave. You know, he's a good player. I just wish he had incredibly good songs, but he didn't. I mean, they were good, absolutely. Don't get me wrong, but I wish he had been able to have hit songs and things like that. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, let's see what else is here. I was excited about this one, folks, and I can't wait to hear it. This is Cannonball Jump for Joy, Cannonball Adderley. This is on the Mercury label. And so here's the back of it. I love the colors of the front. It's a glossy cover. This could be the original sticker when it was new. $3.10. So it says Julian Cannonball Adderley Jump for Joy. And when it, you know, this guy had 386 records and most of them were dished. But look at that label. And the record has lots of gloss to it, and I was so happy it was flat. Oh my, what could it be? Yes, what could it be? So it has the correct inner sleeve. So this was a really cool surprise. You know, I saw it and I was like, and then I examined it, inspected it, and I was like, yes, yeah. Cannonball was so good. Yes, nice Cannonball. I've had this before. This is really good, folks. Captain Sky. You know, I haven't seen him in a few years, but I had this one customer, and he would come in, and he would collect records. Hey, Craig, how are you? And I already inspected these. And he would buy guys on the cover dressed with spacemen, dressed as spacemen that were African American. And that's what he did. Well, watch again. Thanks for sharing. You're welcome. What's your temperature, Craig? We had 72 yesterday and 52 today. You know, crazy, crazy time. Anyway, this is good. If you guys, The Adventures of Captain Sky. If you feel led to watch it or listen to it on YouTube, please do. You can't go wrong with Curtis Mayfield. And he had a lot of Curtis Mayfield, but this one was flat. Oops. This has the insert. So sometimes I think of myself as rescuing records. I'll take the records and I'll clean them. I'll put them in new inner sleeves if they need them. I'll put them in a bag if they need them. Um, I'll wash them on the VPI, and I'll just make them that way. Yeah. Here we go, Curtis Mayfield. Here's another Gil Scott Hearing. Reflections. 81. I want to listen to them all. Yeah. Gil Scott is so good. Believe it or not, We're going to hit 100 on Sunday. It's a bit soon for those types of temperatures. I could understand. Um, I could understand. This one was really, really interesting. The incredible Jimmy Smith open house. It's got shrink on it. On the back, it has a price sticker, $1.99, if I'm not mistaken. This Blue Note, 84269. Or is it $11.99? SKLEIN. SKS Klein. Darn, I wish I could see it better. It must be $11.99. This must be an 80s issue. I'll find out right now. Liberty Incorporated, Los Angeles, California. Yeah. This one needs a bath. And I got to play it. Yeah, I got to play it before I price it. See if some of these marks are audible. But I couldn't let this Blue Note leave. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to watching this. But I'll go ahead and put it in a bag. The cover is a little, shrink wrap continues to shrink. And that's what it's doing there. So I'll let the new person decide if they're going to keep the shrink on it or if they're going to remove it. So I'll go ahead and bag it. I don't bag every record, folks, but yeah. I don't like bagging. Well, I don't feel it's necessary to bag 80s unless they're split. Oh, there was a Tina Turner live record that had David Bowie on it, Bryan Adams, but it was a dish. So there you go. So I'll put this in here, facing me like that. This one is really interesting. I'm not familiar with this one at all. And it's very tight. I don't like to pinch, but I had to for that one. But it's on the Pacific Jazz Records, which we don't see Pacific Jazz label in this area as often as we should. But this one needs a bath. Okay, very gritty. Yeah, very gritty. Grand Encounter, 2 degrees east, 3 degrees west. And Chico Hamilton's on here. Jim Hall is on here. Jim Hall did some wonderful jazz guitar. Let's take a look right here. This is so cool. It's been wrote 1956. It has a date on it. Wow. There you go. And here's the players. That's so cool. Blue Note was on the East Coast. Pacific Jazz was on the West Coast. Craig, if you were to go out looking for jazz, you probably would see a lot of Pacific jazz or in your area, much more than what we see here on the East Coast. So there we go. I'll put it in here so it can be washed. I was excited to find this one. I've had it before. This is Bill Evans at the Montreux Jazz Festival. It's on the Verb label. Such good stuff. Here's a phone number. And then Tuesday, July 2nd, 10 o'clock, Darlene and Sawyer. What do you think? Yeah, it is a DJ, not for sale. And I'm definitely going to give this baby a bath. But it's a yellow label promo. Disc jockey record, not for sale. And it does have 52. Is it 52 or 12? It's got 12 in the dead wax. Wow. Check and see if my mail person's been over. Nope, they still haven't been. You know, when I talked to them on the phone, I said, how long should I leave this stuff out? Do I leave it out all night for risk of theft? Hmm. I don't know. It's got the proper label. So this is going to be really fun when I wash it. Give it a bath. Play it with pride. So sometimes it takes me a long time to process these records, folks. I just don't put a big price tag on them. I take good, great care. Yeah, there we go. Dorothy Norwood, A Denied Mother. Dorothy Norwood and the Combined Choir of Atlanta, Georgia, The Denied Mother. It's on the Savoy label. It's got shrink on it, folks. And there it is, Savoy. Wow. So good. Thank you for hanging out with me, folks. I appreciate it. I will be processing these records anyway, so might as well turn on the camera. Make it happen. Dorothy Grant's 25th anniversary, God Never Fails. Accompanied by the gospel chorus of Spring Hill Baptist Church of Detroit, Michigan. This is very cool. There she is, Dorothy. Dorothy, I can't wait to hear you sing. Oh, I'll be playing these records tomorrow in Wake Forest. I sure will. Here we go. Oh, I'm going to put this back in the record, the phone numbers. That was in the Bill Evans. Maybe somebody can figure it out. Still here. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me, Anonymous. Yeah. This one needs a bath. Good Lord, does it need a bath? I just couldn't pass it by. It's probably VG condition, but it needs a bath. Anonymous, care to share with us what you enjoy listening to? Do you listen to the vinyl records? Yeah. Okay, The Legacy of the Blues, Volume 1. A series of recording by the great blues artist Buka White. This is on the Crescendo label, 1976. Well, who are the artists? Oh, this is okay. This is a series, and this is the artist. Okay, I was looking for a compilation of artists. I could use a bath, but I'll let the new owner enjoy it, bathing it. I think I'm going to price this one right now. This is cool. People love blues. when I get blues in. I mean, there's a lot of common blues, like Edward Winter and um, I don't know, George Thorogood, stuff like that. But I tell you, um, a lot of uncommon jazz. I mean, um, blues records get swiped up pretty fast. Hookah, White. A sticker recording that marked the rediscovery of this great blues man. It's so interesting. All right, where? Oh, I found it. Crescendo, one last crescendo. The band won't last that long. Yeah, 76 crescendo. I found it. Vinyl, CDs, cassettes, shortwave, longwave, wire antennas. That's totally cool. Wow. Gosh, I wish I could play some of his music. Wow. Booker White, born in Mississippi, died in Tennessee. Oh, he was named after Booker T. Washington. I've been to the Booker T. Washington Museum. I think it's in Virginia. Um, and in 1990, he was inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame. His cousin is B.B. King, his first cousin. That's totally white. That's totally cool, Mr. White. Awesome. That's very cool. Yay. Let me get him priced. Woohoo. I love my CDs. I mean, I love my cassettes too. I also like my mini disc. Here we go. All right. Let's see what else we got here. This is the Singing Airs, ARS, AIRS, the Singing Airs of Brooklyn, New York. 25th anniversary recorded live at the Washington Temple in Brooklyn, New York. Wow. This is very cool. 1984. This is cool. You know what? This is probably a crate of records I'll go through tonight. If I'm sitting here pricing them all alone and um, you guys aren't distracting me at all, but if I was here pricing, I'm worried about my mail though. And I was all alone and just making it happen. I could get a lot done, but it's sometimes good smokers. It's sometimes good just to go ahead and process and get them ready. Um, I'm usually somebody who can price a lot of records without having to research them, but occasionally I have to. Shirley Caesar lives in Durham, which is the next town over. She still has a church and does a lot of outreach stuff and helps a lot of people. I would occasionally, not last year, I would occasionally see her vans around town, and it was really cool. There you go, Shirley Caesar. I've had this before. I think I have. Seems like it was a different color cover. Yeah. Someone came here today and says, "How long have you been here?" I said, "What do you mean? I got here 11." He says, "No, no, no. How long have you been here total?" I said, "Do we count last year?" And so that was kind of neat. This is a very special record. I had this one before. Victor bought it for me. Song for My Father, the Horace Silver Quintet, 4185 on the Blue Note. It says for a complete catalog, write to Blue Note Records Incorporated, 43 West 61st Street, New York. And the zip code is 23. There it is, folks. Oh, it's so gorgeous. This one's probably a VG condition. It's got a little wear in one area, but I'm hoping it's just it's something that's got on the disc. I need to clean up. Yeah. I've seen all sorts of things on records, folks. Paint. All sorts of things. Yeah. Okay, so it's got the ear or the P, which is good. It's got a Van Gelder stamp. Oh boy. I can't wait to watch this and I can't wait to play it. It's such a good record. Folks, if I had kept all the cool records that's come in over the years, this one also says 26 years Blue Note, but I am going to look this up quickly to see what year it is. I'm thinking it's 63, 64, but I'm going to give this a bath. And yeah. One thing I always ask people, when you give your records a bath, you put a new inner sleeve, do you save your old inner sleeve or do you dispose of it? Yeah, let's see if I can figure out something here. Okay, here we go. We're looking for Blue Note 4185. There it is. Mm-mm-mm. It's a mono reissue. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, 64, I think it is the year, folks. It's either 64 or 66. And, do I want to spend an hour trying to figure out exactly which president it is, or just want to say, oh, it's a 60s issue? Yeah. Wow. I'm guessing 66. That's just a good guess. Ooh, looking forward to washing it and playing it. Ooh, can't wait. The finest in jazz since 1939. Hey, TARDIS, how are you? TARDIS, I'm. Hey, thank you for asking about the S record. I haven't replied to you yet to let you know I haven't. I've looked and I've looked and I've looked. Nothing. I just know that the next one that comes in, I'll have to reach out to you. As far as the one that I sent to you, please feel free to keep it, to gift it. Just don't throw it in the landfill, please. Donate it, anything you like, sir. I apologize for that. Yeah. This one's going to need a bath. It does not have the correct inner sleeve. But there we go. And how's Kirby doing today, TARDIS? So this came in. I was excited with this. I don't think I've ever had this one before. Someone put some tape on it. So I'm going to see if I can get it off. So here's some clear tape, Scotch tape. So there's a little bit right here. I'm going to see if I can get it off. So this is CL1268. It's Jazz Track by Miles or Mills Davis. Side one is the quintet, and side two is the sextet. So let's take a little closer look and see what we have here. Well, first of all, I'm gonna find out what year this was released. No worries, easy mistake. Thanks. Just keep me in mind. Oh well, Kirby's a weird screwball. Thanks for asking. How old is Kirby? Um, Red is 15. She sleeps like she's 85. She's very active, and she's a cool cat. She sleeps a lot. 1959. Wow. Now, which version do I have? Uh, I'm pretty sure mine is steer on mono. Um, see if I can find something in the dead wax and find out. Oh, Kirby was a year old in February. So Red might sleep 8 hours straight, then get up and eat some food, or go to the bath or get some water. Kirby might sleep 8 minutes, then get up. Oh boy. Where's the vinyl? Here's the vinyl. Oh, I didn't even think to look at the stampers first. It's got an etch on it, folks. It's 2G on one side, and the other side has a stamper 2E. Wow. So that means it's probably not the first year. Let's take a look and see if I can find out more information. But so TARDIS, make sure on your next order that I adjust your cost so you don't have to pay for the S. If you would, please. Thank you for helping me remember that. So 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59. I'm still going to look at a 59. I don't see any clues as to where it was pressed. All I see is either the stamper or the etch. And I wonder why they changed from a stamper to an etch. I know why they did. Look how close the dead wax is to the label here. It's a very small dead wax. I bet that's the reason. Oh, but it is a 6i. I didn't even think about that. Coltrane's on here. Cannonball Adderley's on here. Paul Chambers. Jimmy Cobb. Kenny Clark. Elevator to Scaffold. There's a variation where it's on 2 lines, and there's variation where it's on 1 line. I don't even see it on here at all. You put your little right foot out. I don't even know if this is the right record. It is the right record. Label variation. It must be the French version of that. Yeah. So TARDIS, I'm pricing this estate that came in, and I want to put as much of it as I can out this weekend, so that on Sunday I can have a good sell. Folks, this needs to be washed and listened to before I can even begin to price it. And oh, I see it now. Side 1. Apparently there's a... Oh, here it is right here, folks. That must be the title of a movie. Okay. See right here where it says Elevator to the Scaffold. That's on 2 lines. There's a variation where it's on 1 line. And I don't know how that helps me. All right, this one is in 2 lines. Title track's justified enough. Oh, this is what I have. Um, 1959. Oh, what a night. So this needs a bath. I bought this, folks, mainly because of the cover. Or should I say mainly for the cover? But I love records that have a jam box on the cover. And this one has a jam box on the cover. Plus, I like Grandmaster Flash. And I'm looking forward to hearing it. But it does have a dish. So I bought it anyways. It's a noticeable dish. It's not a huge dish, but I'm going to have to see how it plays. But it is such an iconic cover that I definitely would want to, if nothing more, just to keep the cover around and get on the wall. Sure, I could go out and buy tons and tons and tons of new pressings of hip hop and rap. I could buy new releases as well as reissues of some classic titles, and I could have a huge selection. I could go online and I could start buying everything that I could possibly find, all the cool stuff and all this, and I could have an incredible selection of hip hop. But if I did all that, I would really have to up the prices, and so me, like a lot of stores, when something cool comes in, it goes away fast. So if you come in here looking for heavy metal, you'll find a lot of it. If you're looking for a first issue of Metallica Ride the Lightning, you won't find it because it won't stay here very long at all. Yeah. This is one that I'm really, really interested in listening to. This is from WWDR. It's on the Verb label, A Spoonful of Love. And someone took a Sharpie and filled in the A, because this is how it should look. A Spoonful of Love, the Artie, let's see if I can read it better. Chirac Implosion. So I'm thinking this is all Love and Spoonful covers. Do you believe in magic? Summer in the City. I'm sorry, I don't know Love and Spoonful very well. But if you take a look, there's the image of the guy. He must be Artie. It's getting dark. I swear that I'm going to pick up my stuff. When I leave around 9, I have to bring everything in. It's really sad. Yeah. When I called to the post office today, they said they had some employees that were out with COVID. See it. You know, I had a bunch of stuff. I got to give it a bath. I had a bunch of stuff and I went to the post office on Thursday, Wednesday, one day this week. I didn't like it. We have a very small post office. You're really close to people. It's not a good example to be social distance. And a lady was standing there in front of the window for the post office. She had her mask down to here, and she was drinking. And when it was time for me to leave, I said, "Would you mind putting your mask on?" And so she did, and I got out of there. I didn't like it. And I really don't want to have to take packages to the post office. I could go to Wake Forest, but it's kind of the same. I'm going to see if my packages have been picked up. No, they're going to freeze. So I'm going to have to call them and find out what's going on if I can. Let's see. Oh, This is Jimi Hendrix. What's this one called? This is a gatefold. I think this was released after he died. I don't know. The Cry of Love, or was it released when he was alive? I don't know. But I chose this one because it looks great. Um, and it'll be popular sell. Plus, grabbed everything I possibly could from that guy that was desirable and great condition. Cry of Love, Cry of Love. Let's see what year that is. 750. Jimmy, Cry of Love. We had a local band. They named themselves Cry of Love. They were kind of a southern rock. This is 1961. Oh, I didn't even look at the label closely. I did see that it was a reprise. He died in 1970. So it's a reprise. It's The Cry of Love. Make sure I pronounce it correctly. The Cry of Love. Yeah. Jimmy, let's go. Mm. Are You Experienced? Axis Bold as Love, Electric Ladyland. Was his 3 studio albums. Um, wow. Cry of Love, where are you? Live recordings. Electric Lady. Huh. I don't see it. I'm going to have to see if I can find it. Cry of Love. Cry of Love. I don't have any Jimi Hendrix at home. Oh, someone's going to have to help me out here. Somebody that knows Jimi Hendrix and has their records. It says it would have been his 4th studio album that contains some material he was working on that he planned for his 4th studio album. Um, does anyone know if it's so? I mean, if you like Jimmy, do you like Cry of Love, the quote unquote 4th record? Hmm. Oh, I'm reading the Wikipedia page on Cry of Love. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should listen to it and see what it's all about. Hendrix Cry of Love was studio stuff released. The same stuff had been released. The same stuff has been re-released with better sound quality. Okay. TARDIS, do you know if it's a good album? Is it a good album by him, by Jimmy? Do you enjoy the music? Do you enjoy the songs? James Cleveland. This is on Savoy also. Hmm. You're just cross town traffic. I don't even know what songs are on Cry of Love. Maybe I should read the track list. See if there's anything I recognize from classic radio. Um, Mm-mm. Jimmy, Billy Cox, Mitch Mitchell, Buddy Miles, Noah Redding, Stephen Stills, Eddie Kramer. Oh, never mind. He didn't play. I don't think he played. Oh, I have Cry of Love. It's good stuff, but like the later release, but I like the later release a little better. Cry of Love is more in the vein of Electric Ladyland than Band of Gypsies. Well, thanks for your input, sharing how you feel about that. So this didn't have an inner sleeve, but it needs a bath. Yeah, it needs a bath and a new inner sleeve. Martin Luther King at Zion Hill. I want to listen to this because it says narrated by Bob DeCoy. Yeah. So I notice it doesn't say Dr. Martin Luther King. So yeah, I got a lot of research to do. Um, Needs a bath. PICA, Pica production. Well, the thing of it is, TARDIS is Jimi Hendrix. Um, it is so. Here's the label. Here's the jack. Yeah, and then here's the inner sleeve. This is very brown. It's very brittle. I probably will not save this, but I will use it until I get it washed with a new inner sleeve. Yeah. TARDIS, do you have a fancy record cleaner? Believe it or not, this was in there. All this cool soul, funk, um, gospel, and here was Wing Chun points on the curve. I guarantee you, if I call the post office, they will not answer. Now I have the phone number for the back. I mean, why should I leave my packages out there all night? So this one is in great condition. I'm not going to bag this one. Dance all days. Such a good record. I have a Spin Clan. Oh, very cool. I hear lots of wonderful things about that. Not fancy, but does the trick. Absolutely. Sly and the Family Stone back on the right track. I really like this record. I really do. Um, There we go. There it is. And Sister Rose. Oh, you got your package today. You didn't get your you didn't get your Sturgill yet though. I don't know if you've been listening much, Michael, but I'm battling my postal service. My packages, your packages out there waiting to be picked up. This is one on the Warner Brother label. Yeah. Well, great, Michael. I hope everything's okay. Please let me know if there's any concerns at all with your orders. I want to know. Hey, look. Yeah. Easy to get confused. This is the trunk. Michael, I got some stuff today and I'm just processing it now. I got to price it tomorrow. And I mean, a lot of the stuff I can price pretty quick. Some of it needs a bath and some of it I have to research. Yeah. Oh, we were talking earlier about how it's gotten cold here. This is Peter Tosh. Bush Doctor. This is a good record. Actually, I haven't opened it. Very cool. Mm-hmm. Peter Tosh. I like Peter Tosh. I really do. I think I've shown this before. This is Benny Goodman, Benny Goodman, Morton Gould conducting the Chicago Symphony. Um, it needs an inner sleeve. It doesn't need a bath, but it needs an inner sleeve. So, did you guys read that Paul Simon sold his catalog? That isn't my favorite Peter Tosh album, but it's the one that has Mick Jagger and Keith Richards on it. If that's a selling point, thank you so much. I knew that it was on their label. Um, yeah, yeah. So thank you. Thanks for reminding me of that. Mick Jagger, Keith Richards. Yeah, I'll put this on here. Um, the one where he's standing in a field of plants, and there's lots of smoke. I think that might be my favorite Peter Tosh. But then again, I probably haven't listened to them all. Let's see if I can figure out which one that is. Peter Tosh Disco. Peter Disco. There we go. Legalize it. Equal Rights is good also. Wanted, Dread or Alive. Mystic Man. Holy smoke, where do we stop? So much good stuff. Is there one that you would play first or play next? Legalize it, yeah. There was a record store day version of that. I didn't keep one, but it was a scratch and sniff, I think. Or was it just a scented? And I remember on record store day when people were buying it, they had to open it up and smell it. And I was like, I want to smell. Oh, it was so cool. Yeah. I'm going to have to call the post office, my people. There we go. This is ready. Oh, that was so much fun. You may remember that yourself, TARDIS. There's just something about legalize it. I guess back in college, you heard that song at every party you went to. Don't criticize it. And you had to learn how to do your little fake equal rights. There you go. You had to learn how to do your fake little uh, accent. Your yeah. And then, folks, I remember in college, I learned that the reggae community and the dead community. Oh, it was so fun. Here's some that I processed that I haven't priced. So I'll show you these. These came in last Sunday, and I've been working hard on them. You know, if you follow me on Instagram, so I have 4 Instagrams, but Record Crate, and then Record. I can't remember, but if you go to Instagram and just search Record Crate, you'll see it, and you'll find Record Crate Wake Forest and Record Crate I-95, and then I had a window location, but it closed, and I started doing something new with that Instagram, and bam, pandemic came. So there we go. I posted some of the ones that I processed, and yeah. So there we go. I'll show you what I've done so far. I haven't priced them; I just processed them. Yeah, here I am, the record hauler. Tina Turner. This is a Holland pressing. So what came in last Sunday was a bunch of European pressings: Holland, Germany, UK, England. EPMD, strictly business. And there's another EPMD that came in. It had the word business in it also. I'll put this to the side. Soul to Soul. This is such a good record overall. Yeah, this is a German pressing. Doug E. Fresh and the Get Fresh crew. Okay. So the person who who had these records or grew up in Germany. Ooh, ooh, you're gonna love me, TARDIS. Um, just 1 second, sir. Grew up in Germany, so they bought records. They bought records, and so I get excited when I find European records that come here to America, and I end up here. Uh, TARDIS, are you on Instagram? Do we Instagram each other? You can't recall. Legalize it. So on my Wake Forest page. So TARDIS, you need to go over to my Wake Forest page and look because there's a Sade that I posted yesterday. So that's a Holland pressing of Sade. Uh, Stronger Than Pride, I think is the name of it. I love Sade. And so there you go, sir. And so I always encourage everybody to follow me on Instagram and Facebook and everywhere in the world you can because I do post a lot of stuff. Yeah. Not as much as I should, or is not as much as I would like to. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Russell, how are you? How much was the deck sell out? I think I put it in the top shelf, Russell. So when I get through this stack, I'll go and take a look at it. So I was saying that this person, grew up in Germany, and when they had records come from America to Germany, um, it had the sticker on it right here, direct import. I think that was cool. That is a rarity, Russell. I think it was somewhere around $100, if I'm not mistaken, Russell. Yeah, it's okay. Cool. So TARDIS does follow me on Instant, and so there's 3 active record crate. Um, yeah, yeah. Thank you, Russell. I will definitely pay close attention to it. But I think, yeah, this is fun. Give me your love and fun. That just looks so beautiful. Yeah. Here's a German pressing of Fame. Oh, here's a Yes record, TARDIS. Fred, I can't see. It's the postman. Hold on, it's the postman. Mr. Postman. Everybody sing it. I don't know why he's banging on my window. It's hard to see out these windows at nighttime. Got my mask. I think his name is Mr. Willie. How you doing, sir? Okay, how are you? All right, is this everything? For today. All right. There'll be more tomorrow. Yes, sir. Are you working tomorrow? Yes, sir. My name is Keith. 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 Like Keith Richards? Well, I'm not Keith Richards. Jasmine says you were Mr. Cooper. Cooper. Keith Cooper. Keith Cooper. So I'll make sure from now on I got you back. Did you bring me anything? No. That photo picture should have pushed me back. Did you get your mail? What? No, I haven't got mail in a week. I'm expecting stuff too. Packages will fail there. Yeah, but it happens like that when Joe's not here. Joe's on Monday and he'll have a whole list of that stuff. You can't. So you tomorrow. Is Joe okay? Joe's fine. When I have when Joe's here, I have the best postal experience ever. It's just sad that 3 days an adult. Thank you, sir. Hey, is Chris still with us? Chris Paul? Yeah. My time watching. Huh? I like Chris. can't believe it. Uh, okay. Yay. Michael, Mr. Cooper just picked up your package. So there you go. Hold on to that thought, Russell. What's the shot? Where? What is the Sade on? So it's Record Crate Wake Forest. Whoopee! I'm gonna close my curtain. It's the second one there. Yeah. And then TARDIS, I also have Record Crate I-95. I'll show you that in a second. I'm gonna close my curtain. He seemed like a good guy. He talked well anyway. He wasn't wearing a mask. Yeah, that's cool, TARDIS. Thank you, sir. The guitars are completely different. What do you mean completely different? There were different recordings in the stereo? And who, what, when, why? Get your butt up here and tell me all about it, Russell. You got to tell me about it. I need to know stuff like this. I need to know. All right, Russell, get up here and tell me about it. Thank you, TARDIS. Yeah. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind sending me an email. I can't stand Instagram messaging. I can't stand Instagram messaging. Wow. So the guitars are completely it baroque. How much money have I spent with COVID? Hey, I'm not complaining. I'm just thinking, how much money have I spent? All right, excuse me, my mouth is getting dry. This is from Aldi. It's Ginger Awakening. I think it's $2.25. Well, first it was a Who that sells you look like you're in Vaseline. Hey Russell, how are you?
Sorry, I was probably got sweaty hands all over my phone when I was working. But yeah, I've honestly heard that it's a combination of
hold on, Russell. I just got my audio. Start over.
Okay, I've heard that Pete Townsend either recorded completely different tracks for every song, the guitars are mixed differently for every song, or it's a combination of both for the mono versus the stereo.
Wow.
And Who fans that love Pete's guitar playing and his overdubs and stuff are like crazy about that mix. And it's finally, although it has nothing to do with that album, ladies and gentlemen, it's finally coming out in a big box set later this month, and it will have the mono mix on CD for the first time. And a bunch of extra stuff. It's going to be the Who Sell Out 5 or 6 CD set.
Wow. Thanks for letting me know that.
But that's really cool you have that. I'm sure someone's going to nab that up, at least online, if you don't sell it in the store.
I sold my Magic Bus today.
Yeah, you're definitely going to get, that's definitely going to sell, trust me. And that's a USA Decca mono. Yeah. That's definitely worth that much. Easily.
$49.50.
Yeah, it's definitely worth that much. You should have no problem turning that one over.
I didn't think it was when I purchased it from the person, I thought I gave him a good amount of money. And then the more research I did, I was like, ugh, I gotta give that person a credit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's very cool. Thank you, everybody. Buy as many records from Record Crate as possible.
What's happening with you? Are you getting through this this cold snap? Are you part of the cold snap?
Yes, absolutely. I'm still waiting to get a stimulus check. There's all sorts of things I'd like to
Mhm.
bills and fun stuff I'd like to be able to take care of, but I'm still waiting on a stimulus check.
A lot of people don't realize that a lot of businesses, their stimulus check goes toward their quarterly taxes. So,
Well, luckily I don't owe any back taxes, thank God, so
oh,
it won't happen.
I'm not
A
talking
business,
about
oh
back
yeah,
taxes. I'm talking about quarterly taxes.
quarterly taxes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, still
Yeah,
holding out.
I hear you. Yeah.
But yeah, I've been enjoying a lot of stuff recently. Your past couple streams have been real cool, but I've just been listening. I haven't really been commenting. I'll just have the phone somewhere and just be listening to.
Yeah. Well, thank
You
you.
have a cool down to earth style of talking about records and stuff.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you very much. I watch a lot of stuff. I listen to a lot of stuff. Um, um, and I was watching this one guy on YouTube, and he was talking about records, and I know who it was. Have you discovered? Now, I really appreciate this guy. He's a good YouTuber. He's a record cat. He loves rockabilly galore, and then he also likes some country and some blues. But his name is Max. I mean Mac, Mack, Mac Stevens, and his YouTube channel is I Buy Records. And I kind of been watching his stuff over the last 4 or 5 weeks and enjoying it. But he was talking about a Facebook group that he has, and I love 7 inches, Russell. But to me, it's the lady '80s picture sleeves, and it's the punk rock, and it's the new wave that I get more excited about.
Yeah, me
That's
too. To be honest with you, when they don't have a sleeve, I mean, it could be a great sounding 45, as I still call them, but something about a nice picture sleeve always makes them worth getting.
And of course, if I find anything that's garage or surf, I'm like, whoa, I want to hear this. I want to hear this. I mean, like, especially those psychedelic 7 inches that were chopped up and made so small. I love that stuff. But he has a group on Facebook, and it's something like max 4 or 5 RPM cheap records or something like that. And I found it on Facebook, and I clicked join group. I have to get approved. But he was saying in his video, like, yeah, nothing over $20 and no junk, and don't post anything that's popular because nobody's going to be interested in it. We're just looking for cool, unknown stuff, or maybe 10 people like this band or something like that.
But they don't want it to cost over $20, even though it's probably an obscure, unknown, small pressed band.
Could be, it
Wow.
could
Well,
be conditioned to. I don't know. When I get approved in the, I can look it up, check it out. But what struck me about that comment was like, you know, you won't find popular stuff here, and you can find tons of Neil Diamond, and Neil Diamond did wonderful stuff on the Bang label, the Bang label, but he also
yeah.
did a lot of stuff in the '70s and the '80s that um, sound a little different than the Bang. Yeah, but anyway, if it's
Maybe
popular,
maybe he's worried about being flooded with people trying to turn over like their copies of Frampton Comes Alive and stuff, and he just is strict about what he's going to sell. But Frampton Comes Alive, ladies and gentlemen, is a wonderful album. I'm sure Adam has many copies of
I
it he can
don't,
sell to you.
I
Oh, you
don't,
don't?
and they're
That
hard
used
to
to
get.
be that and the Sergeant Pepper soundtrack from the late '70s movie. I used to see those at every yard sale and thrift store I went to when I was a kid. They
I
just seemed like
I enjoy the Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club movie soundtrack. I enjoy the
I did.
movie.
Yeah, the Earth, Wind, and Fire Got to Get You Into My Life is great.
Alice Cooper,
Yeah, with a mustache.
uh, that cool futuristic car. I mean, it's
Yeah,
it's so cheesy and campy that it's adorable. It's a wonderful movie. But
I'm a big Bee Gees fan too, so yeah,
oh yeah,
I like all that stuff.
absolutely. I like the Bee Gees too.
I
Close.
love that album. Speaking of
Oh,
albums,
you do?
hmm
Close to the Edge.
the gatefold is cool too. I always like that landscape. Yeah, check that out. That's
Mm,
great, isn't it?
it is. Yeah. Roger Dean, what an interesting artist.
hmm
Yeah. This used to be Lee Smith's copy. Wonder what Lee's doing now.
Hopefully, he has it on high resolution audio files now
I was
on his
thinking about some
MacBook
groups I
Pro.
like. I mean, Star's not here. He was here earlier, and Star will buy a CD in a heartbeat, and I'm saying that in the most respectful, positive way. Star will buy a CD in a heartbeat. Some of my customers won't buy a CD. They're not interested in CD. But I want the Ohio Players box set with all their music on 3 or 4 CDs. I love
I
Ohio
hate to
Players.
admit this on a page like this, but I love iTunes now. You can
Oh,
kick me off right now for saying that, but it's so like if you don't want to buy that latest $200 box set, which I'm sure is packaged great and everything, you can just listen to the music for 15 something a month.
mm-hmm.
And they don't care how much stuff you download from them or put in your library. So you can virtually shop and get like every Stanley Turrentine album or something like that you want for
But,
your
but
iTunes
but if you
library.
lose your connection to iTunes, does it leave your library?
Mm, you can download it if you need to travel with stuff, but I'm pretty sure if you don't have any internet connection, the iTunes wouldn't work. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what
I think because of its being a streaming service, basically.
hmm I know with Neck. I don't even like to say these companies' name. I know with some of the video streaming that you can download it and put on your device, but I wonder if it expires after 2 weeks or 4 weeks, and I don't
I'm
know.
not sure. All I know about is if you actually do download from iTunes, that's going to take up a lot of space on your device in no
Yeah,
time.
absolutely. And some people have, programs that will rip it. I love Teddy Pendergrass. I don't know this record. Joy.
I remember someone telling me that German pressings were some of the best, no matter what kind of music you like.
I like Holland pressings. My Pink Floyd sounds best on Holland pressings. That
That's
is,
cool.
yeah, yeah. This is a German pressing. This is the Alan Parsons Project.
Classic,
It is a
classic.
wonderful record. I love Alan Parsons. But I was a little taken back that it didn't have the textured gold inlay look. Uh,
Oh, it's not? Oh, wow. So it's just a flat surface.
yeah, and I was like, come on, Germany. Yeah, so anyway, I love that. And I think I'm keeping this one right here. I love Bronski Beat.
I vaguely remember them from when I was a kid. I was a child of the 80s, so I at least know the name.
I think I got my copy here because I was playing it last Sunday. But this came in today, folks, and I had no choice. I had no choice. It is dished. It is dished. And I normally wouldn't buy it, but I had to buy Super Funk. It's on the Prestige label. It's just as funky as you can get it.
Was that a soundtrack to a movie or just like
Mm-mm,
a.
mm-mm. It's produced by David Axelrod, and
Oh, nice.
I don't know the story. I don't know how they ended up being on Prestige, and it's got a cut corner, which tells me uh, it's could be a promo, but I doubt it's a promo. It's probably just a cutout. Some of those records just didn't sell. They just didn't sell. Mm. I'll have to do a video one night and show people what's in my listening station. Yeah. Hold your breath,
Uh,
Russell. Hold your breath. There she is.
I
She's got
have
smooth
I have that on another format. I love that album, to be
operator.
honest with you. My mom, when I was a little kid, all she listened to for a while was Sade and Anita Baker, and I still love all the Sade stuff.
Have you heard the latest about Anita Baker?
No, what's going on?
So I love Sade too. Apparently, now, I hadn't thought about it until now, but anyway, TARDIS, I hope you saw that beautiful record just then. But someone came in and said that Anita Baker is encouraging people who follow her on, those social media platforms to not stream her audio. Don't
Oh,
don't stream my. And the story goes is that she, see if I can find that. She her contracts have expired, and she's trying to get access to her music, the rights to her music. She wants to reissue some. I have no idea what's going on, but um, and I say that, folks, without doing any research to educate myself with any truthful. Uh,
yeah, that's a bummer if she's not making any money off of that, because she's great. I'm sure Rapture is still considered a classic album from that
yeah.
from that 80s period.
Let's look at this
Like,
together. I'm going to share the screen. Share, please. And okay, here we go, folks. Anita Baker. Okay, do not sell my personal information. Asked fans to stop streaming her music in efforts to retrieve her masters. Can you see this okay?
yeah.
The legendary singer says the label is going to make her fight for it, and she's prepared to do it. Oh, love to hear her live. Um, she's also asked him not to purchase her music. Um, wow. So there's lots there to read. What? I don't need a plumber. Uh, yeah. Anyway, what a
That's funny they showed that. I remember Prince, after all the trouble he had with Warner Brothers, he wouldn't collaborate with an artist if they didn't own their own masters. He just did not want to put up with any chance of getting, how can I put it nicely, messed out of money by record labels and stuff.
yeah.
I don't blame those people. I mean, you can really get ripped off a lot.
Will do, TARDIS. Thank you so much. He saw that about Anita Baker, yeah. And so,
That's a shame. She's a great singer, great voice.
yeah, I don't know if the record labels are owned by lawyers or not, but yikes. Yeah. So, anyway, she's wonderful and she deserves that. She deserves
Yeah.
money.
Hopefully, she'll be able to reissue all her stuff and make money for it. And I hope I'm sure she'll be able to get her masters. She has to have other friends in the music biz that would help her.
I'm sure she's got a lot of support, but at the same
Yeah.
time, she's probably will have to re-record all of her music.
I guess she could do it.
Yeah, she could issue that. I got to listen to this again, folks. I've listened to it once and didn't really care for it. Let's see if I can get me bigger and Russell smaller since he's looks like a jack-o'-lantern. Yeah. Do you know this record, Russell?
He was in Supertramp or one of those bands. No, I actually don't. That does look interesting. The cover looks cool.
Yeah, I've listened to it before. Didn't like it. He's a very talented guy. Yeah, I like Supertramp. I like him. I like the other cat, Ray, I think his name is. 12-inch single, Eurythmics. Put the sticker right on the
Odd cover.
It's neat. You see covers that just we didn't get in America. Um, yeah. This is Big Daddy Kane. It's a big daddy thing. I don't know him very well.
He was definitely doing well back then.
And then I need to listen to this again. This is Alan Parsons Project.
I thought that cover looked familiar. I don't remember which one that is, but I have seen the cover before.
Vulture Culture. Is this
Okay.
the one that came in the dark red outer sleeve? There was one that came in a dark red outer sleeve. Can anybody help me with that?
It was Dirty Work by the Rolling Stones came in a dark
It
red
sure
out.
did. Yeah. So much that I at one time thought there were two different records. Well, Alan Parsons had the same thing happen.
That was a pretty cool idea, the shrink wrap being different than the...
Mm-hmm. So the record jacket looks much better than the outer sleeve does. The outer sleeve has ringwear. So it did its job. So there we go. But it's just protection. But this one has the song "The Traveler," which was almost like a poppy Renaissance smooth song. The Traveler is da-da-da. And so there you go. But I always thought Alan Parsons had a little bit of Renaissance in his sound anyway. What is he talking about? George Michael. Gosh, he was so talented. Careless Whispers, extended mix, and the instrumental. So, yeah. George Michael, he played so many instruments. He was so good. Yeah. Russell, what's been shaking with you? How's your winter?
Not much. Oh, pretty bad, man. It's been rough in a lot of ways, but I've been hanging in there. I'm glad to see that. It seems like are you getting more of like physical customers and stuff like that than you had been?
I am. I mean, it's like there was a time that I wasn't getting very many customers, and if people tried to come in, they had to wait till somebody, and it's just kind of like, did I lose a lot of customers? Will they come back? I'm still not seeing a lot of my old customers, and I know things were different for everybody for many different ways. People are affected by the situation in different ways, but it's at the end of the day, I sell things that are not essential, that are a luxury item in many ways.
True.
And so,
now the lights on, you get to see my COVID beard and all.
I was going to say you got some beard, and I've just got the hair going on.
Yeah, I noticed your hair's gotten longer since last time we were doing the Pink Floyd streams and stuff.
Yeah, and there's so much happening in the Pink Floyd world, and
yeah, Nick Mason has been pretty active on social media. Like every day, he's been posting stuff on their YouTube channel about different songs and different questions he's taken from fans and stuff like that.
Yeah. And so, am I going to buy a new record, or am I going to pay my automobile insurance? And so, and then a lot of people just don't have jobs, or their partner doesn't have a job, and things change. It's a tough world for a lot of people now. So, there's no metal records. What are you talking about? There's tons of that. I was looking to ride the lightning, first copy of our several made, that kind of stuff, and I can't get out there and walk beside people and say, "Oh, what about this one?" You know, I'm here, they're there. It's almost like a self-serve store.
Do you have a metal section, or do you just keep
So I
that
have a
stuff?
section called Rock's Harder Side.
Okay, cool. I know a lot of people. That's all they want to listen to on vinyl. That seems to be one of the most popular musics to listen to on vinyl is old heavy metal.
Someone bought a classical record for me today.
Cool.
Um, they bought it for their wife, and their wife is enjoying it. And he sent me an image of his wife listening to the classical record.
Notice you were selling a really nice Deutsche gramophone pressing of something for like $6 the other day.
$3.
$3. Yeah, yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, they're good pressings. I didn't listen to it. Um, I always say that the classical record people, they don't like records that's been played. They don't like records that's touched air. You know.
It
So,
could be, yeah.
yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
All right, kitty, calm down. Calm down. One of my cats is kind of going wild in here.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Yeah. So
Wants me to put on some heavy metal on vinyl.
you got the first Metallica Ride the Lightning.
Oh, on Megaforce, of course. I've
The
got
first one
several.
ever made
I wish.
for
Although
$10.
that's not really like I love Metallica, but I'd like the album before that and the album right after that a lot better.
What
But
were they
I don't.
called?
The first one was Kill 'Em All. There was Ride the Lightning, and then Master of Puppets.
Master Puppets.
Master.
Masters of
Yeah.
Puppets.
Twisting your mind, smashing your dreams.
Friday Night Request Rock. Can't even say it right. Friday Night Request Rock. Friday Night Request Rock.
Mandatory Metallica from 8 to 9.
In the days of darkness, man feared the storm. Yeah. Yeah, so very cool. Yeah. I don't have any Metallica in my personal listening library. Yeah. So sometimes, it's the flavor of the week, unless it's something super popular that people recognize. You know, it's like my psych customers. Come back. Look for that
Yeah.
psych you never heard of, you've never seen before, and check that out. But, hey, I'm very happy, Russell. I'm very happy to be where I am. The live record sales have been a big help for me. And I got one coming up Sunday. Can't wait.
Yeah, this friend of mine in Australia said that after experiencing the ups and downs of COVID, that he's definitely going to own. He and his wife have a record shop. Well, they also sell like antique, like all sorts of 60s and 70s and 80s antiques too.
Mm-hmm.
But they're definitely going to have an online store now, just in case anything like this happens again.
Good idea. I got to find that record TARDIS was just asking about. No, I didn't put anywhere. So, so I'm very careful with what I do, Russell. That's for sure. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Oh yeah, she looks nice. I gotta play it to make sure it sounds as nice as it looks. We miss living in Europe, Russell. Get all the better sounding records.
Those imports are always cool.
Yeah, that's for sure. But and I miss my traveling customers. So Sunday is Easter. Will some people come to Raleigh to visit family? Will I have the opportunity to hang out with them? Will they come and come shop with me? I don't know. I had one guy. I think he was either a nurse or a physician, and living in Alaska, so he came to visit his parents. And the only reason he came is because he had um, shops, and so he came to visit with his parents for a week, and he came in and bought a good amount from me, and it was like, whoa, cool. So that was really neat for him to come in. Um, but last year I didn't have any of my Japanese buyers, any of my UK buyers come in. You know, didn't have my festival crowd people coming in. So probably won't have them this year either. But I miss that. I miss that. Yeah, miss talking to people. Yeah. But when I do lives, I feel like I'm talking to myself sometimes, and but I like getting the reaction from people. So yeah.
Yeah, you seem to enjoy doing it. You don't seem to be nervous or anything like that.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. But there's a lot of good music out there, a lot of new music being released, a lot of cool things coming up, some stuff I can't talk about, but that's coming up. And thanks for sharing with me about the Who and their box set that's coming up. And I gotta get online and see if I can find me Ohio Players box set on CD, and just to see what else I can get. I just love that stuff. I One of my favorite things about YouTube is that I can watch old live recordings, live shows. Um, I found a wonderful Genesis with Peter Gabriel, and I probably listened to it 3 times. Sometimes, the first time I watched it, and then the second time and the third time I just listened to it as I'm working. So good, Russell. How
Oh
can
yeah, a lot of those bootleg, and they sound great too. Their soundboard and stuff like that. So they
how can
don't.
it be recorded so good? How can we listen to a Grateful Dead from 1972 and it sounds so good? You know, it's just amazing. It is. Do you know what the number one song is today? I say the number
Me,
one. I would say number one pop song.
I do not.
It's
I
called
honestly.
Peaches, and it's by Justin Bieber.
Okay.
And I got an alert that it was the number one song on the BILLBOARD. And so I went to the YouTube and I watched the video. And I think everybody deserves to go check it out to see what the number one song is, which I don't pay attention to charts or anything like that. On my website, I think on my website there's charts that shows what's popular. Um, I think, but I have access
Has Justin Bieber had any of his stuff pressed to vinyl?
always.
Oh, okay. So you might be able to buy the 45 single of
Ooh, wouldn't that be
the number
cool?
one the number one hit song, Peaches.
I would have to get the edit.
Oh, is it kind of dirty? The
Oh my
lyric?
gosh, he sounds like he's an 80-year-old sailor.
Oh wow.
Hold on a second, my scroll's not working. I don't know why. Someone left a comment. Oh, here we go. Hey, there's Steve. Hey, Steve, how are you? Hey, um, good to see you, Steve. I was going through and working, processing some records I picked up today as a buyback, and then showing some other stuff I'd processed that came in last Sunday. And we're just hanging out, talking. This is Russell, and we were talking.
Hello
Russell,
everyone.
Russell was telling me a little bit about this record right here, about the band The Who. It's called The Who Sells Out. Well, this is a mono pressing, and so Russell shared some information about the guitar tracks. So yeah. And how are you, Steve? Um, yeah, Steve has this cool antique store up in New York, way up New York, where it's cold,
Nice.
and they have snow, lots of snow, and he's got a tractor. And anyway, and so I like watching his videos. He's got some cool turntables, and maybe one day he'll put a turntable at his checkout counter. And can you see the comments, Russell?
Oh, let me check.
I'll pop it up here for you.
Hello, Steve.
There you go. Hanging in there, Steve.
How you
We had
doing?
72 yesterday and 52 today. So we have I have a little cold snap. Russell's a little north of me, so he's probably
It got down to 29 degrees by 3 or 4 in the morning here.
Russell's probably 5 degrees colder than me. I think we got down to 34. And,
Yeah.
oh, Steve, excuse me, you won't believe it, Steve, but my postal carrier just came yesterday. Came, I don't know, 30 minutes ago and got my mail. Didn't come yesterday. And I was getting concerned. I don't want to leave my packages outside. So he got this big old stack and took it with him. And I said, don't forget, I'll have some tomorrow. And crossed my fingers because it's strange. A lot of my eBay sales happen overnight. And it's another guess as to why that happens. But usually 1 and 2 in the morning, and then about 5 and 6 in the morning, I'll get some sales. And that's pretty common. Have you noticed that, Steve? Has that happened for you? Steve sells on more platforms than me. I just have my website. And Russell, we shipped out those Sturgill Simpson records. I think they went out Wednesday, and then I shipped out some from here. Have you heard it, Russell?
I've heard of him. I don't know if I've heard the latest album. I don't think I have.
So he did a very traditional, almost folky, almost bluegrass record. Then he did kind of a psychedelic, traditional country sounding record. And then he did a record that had a lot of horns, and he got the guys from Daptone Records out there, and so he brought in some rhythm and blues horn sounding stuff. And folks, I'm just paraphrasing. If I don't get it exactly right, please forgive me. And then he had a rock and roll record, and then he had a bluegrass record, and then the record that was released today is a bluegrass record that's volume 2. So yeah. Some are international sales, but most are East Coast, West Coast. It doesn't really matter. It's weird for me. I get most of my sales during the week, nothing on weekends. Huh. I also get some sales. I'm leaving Wake Forest. I'm going down the road, and I got, oh boy. And so the item may be in Wake Forest, but I don't turn around. I'll just get it next time I'm there. I'm going to Wake Forest. So I'm at a different store every day, Russell. So Wake Forest,
Yeah.
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So if I sell something Saturday night after I left, I don't pick it up until Tuesday. And but I'm in Raleigh. I'm in Raleigh every day. Yeah. I feel like I'm a record hauler. I think last weekend I took 3 crates of records to Wake Forest and brought them back. But tomorrow I'm just going to take 1 crate of records and some of the stuff I need to wash and process and price. But I left my zapper in Wake Forest. I'm getting brain mush. Yeah.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so I hear an airplane. It's an airplane in the city. Please don't crash on me. Yeah, so there's still lots of good music being released, Russell. There really is. Good
I
music.
notice more and more of the younger artists are into having their stuff pressed on vinyl too, so that's good.
Oh, I was going to check my website for Justin Bieber. Bieber. Uh, um, yeah, it's essentially a hip hop song. What's this new thing out here? Oh boy. Just went up the Three Imagine, the gold LP. Oh boy. There's so many records coming out. Oh, do you like My Bloody Valentine?
I've been interested in them for many years. I haven't listened to it. I've only heard some of Loveless. I haven't listened to a bunch of their stuff, but
Yeah. Love Us is very good. Yeah, it is very good. Justin Bieber. Is it Bieber? Maybe. Yeah, Loveless is very good. Uh, Peaches. Gosh. Um, he's on Def Jam Records, you know. Can you believe it? Yeah. Um, had a single with Anyone and with Lonely. Justice Under the Missile. Justice was released on CD. There's still a lot of artists that their albums coming out on CD, and then later it comes out on vinyl. But the single, the number one song, is Peaches, and it's on the record called Justice. And Justice has 16 songs, uh, and he has a lot of people joining him, including Chance the Rapper. Yeah, so yeah, he's making it happen, and I'm happy for him. Yeah,
he had some rough times and he came back from them.
you got to feel so bad for him with all those rough times he got himself into.
Well, it was kind of crazy. He was getting arrested and stuff every couple days for a while. It's pretty good that he was able to straighten out and get his career back on track, because he was more famous for who he was dating and getting arrested than his music for a while. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad things are going well for him.
Well, other than Peaches, I'm not sure I could recognize or identify or say that's Justin. That's one of his songs. I just don't know his body of work. Yeah, yeah. Russell, you got big plans for the weekend?
I honestly don't. I might just play guitar a lot. That's the goal.
I have a guy working for me, and he plays guitar in college, and he it's fun because I'm saying, "Well, have you heard of this guy?" He's like, "No," and then he makes a note and he listens to him on YouTube and things like that. But he's discovering music on his own, and he loves Rush. And I offered him this record right here, "Hold Your Fire." Um,
Is that a special pressing of it?
it's not a special pressing. It's a very nice sounding pressing.
Yeah.
It's got shrink and it's got the hype sticker on it, and and
And it has Amy Mann on it, who went to the same high school I did.
oh, cool. And it has but it's just a harder record to find on vinyl anyway.
Yeah, like once you get to like the mid, like, or like the late 80s, especially around 1989, it's really hard to find certain things on vinyl.
I know 89 pressings are kind of hard to find. Do you remember what year that one is?
Hold Your Fire, wasn't that 86?
I will find out right now. You're probably right. 87.
Whoa, okay.
September 87.
Wow, that's later than I thought in my Rush chronology. I would have thought that was late 85 going into 86. So.
Maybe there was more of a demand for CDs than the vinyl, but I'll listen to it the day I got it. I listened to it 3 times in a row. I was like, "Whoa, good for me!" And so, yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, Russell, it's 8:55. I think I should get out of here.
Yeah, it's same time here in Virginia, so yeah, getting kind of late.
Um, absolutely. But hey, I've enjoyed hanging out with everybody tonight. It's good to see you, Russell, and thank you so much for sharing with
Thank
me
you, everybody, for
about
listening.
these baked beans. It's a
Yeah.
lot of beans. Roger Daltrey looks like he's wearing a wig.
There's also an Australian pressing of that where Keith is holding a big tube of Clearasil instead of Medac because they didn't have Medac over there. And for some reason, they decided they just airbrushed the label on the picture. Oh, does that say Clearasil on it too?
No, it says Medak.
Okay, that's a very nice copy. It looks like it's in great condition.
Is that John?
Yeah, the
John?
Charles Atlas.
I thought John was like 6'8" or something like that. He
That
is.
still is one of my favorite Who albums.
Oh yeah. Whoopee!
Yeah.
Again.
Monday. Doo-doo. I like how it's set up to sound like you're listening to a radio show. I love records that do that kind of stuff. Like the Bonzo Dog Doodah Band would do stuff like that, and I always thought that was fun to listen to.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. This is. Yeah, it's very cool.
That's a diamond right there. That's a very desired Who album is a mono Who sell out.
It's got a hole punch, which tells me it may be a promo. Yeah.
And I've noticed even when stuff finally comes out on CD or whatever, and the rare mono mix or something like that, it does nothing to deflate the value of the original vinyl at all. Like it makes hardly any difference.
It makes for
Because even
conversation.
well, yeah, maybe, but I've noticed that like even now for like the past 11 years, you've been able to get the White Album in mono on compact disc or a reissue pressing of it in mono. The original late 60s UK copies have not dropped in value in the slightest.
Yeah. I got 2 of those. I'm gonna rephrase that. So I have one, the Beatles. The Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some rare right here on the sides. Um, and one of them is a lower number. It's not super low, but it's less than 700,000,
Oh, okay.
which is an enormous number. But if you look at it in the great scheme of things, it's a lower number for that record because I've seen them in 9 million. The serial
Yeah,
number.
I think the one I have is probably like one of the last ones they pressed in the initial run or something. It's a real high number.
99999. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, probably so. Although that's probably worth something. The last one pressed in the US in the first run is probably worth something too. But
Yeah,
I've never in real life seen a super low number White Album.
I've seen I've seen one, and yeah, I yeah or yeah. How does it sound? Which is cool. But I think you're right there. It doesn't. It does hold a value. Um, yeah, even those. What was it? 70s, 80s German pressings that were on white vinyl.
I think so, maybe.
Yeah. Guy came in yesterday. Really cool cat. Had good taste. Bought some cool records, and he says, "Hey, what would my Beatles Butcher be worth?" And I said, "Well, is it stereo mono?" He says, "I don't know." I said, "Was it
Mm.
pressed in Jacksonville or Hollywood, or was it?" He says, "I don't know." He says, "Obviously, there's a lot more to it than I realized." So, yeah, and
Yeah,
think about
isn't a First State stereo that's still got the shrink wrap on it the most valuable of all the Butcher covers?
uh, perhaps, but I heard that there was a Canadian release that could be the most
Oh wow. I didn't
valuable.
think it that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the story goes is that Canada, and folks will hear a lot of things. I'm in no way all knowing. Please remember that, folks. My information and $5 and a good Wikipedia article can take me a long way, um, and a cup of coffee. But the story goes is that Canada didn't paste another cover on it; they just destroyed theirs. So,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
I mean, that's just a story ready to be read. And
I've seen where people have done some cool things where they half peel the trunk cover off the Butcher cover so you get to see a little bit of both. And I don't know if that messes with the value, but it just looks really cool how they're able to do that. They do a real nice job of it. So
there's a cat. I think it's in Texas who offers a service of removing the. But they say that as time goes on, that the glue is continuing to age and changes its chemical composition, and now it's even more difficult. But I think probably 2 or 3 years after the pace happened, when people realized, I think they were able to remove them fairly easy. And I don't know. At, at the end of the day, yikes. you know.
yeah, to actually peel one cover off of another like that must be extremely time consuming. You know what I'm tickled with is now, if you want to, you can get a CD with the Butcher cover on it of yesterday and today. I have one of those. It's like from Japan. It's just a paper sleeve with the Butcher cover on the front and a shrunken down back cover on the back.
I have one that was released by Capitol where it came with a sticker. And if you wanted to put the sticker over the original,
Oh, wow. That's great.
it was funny, but who would
It's
want
like
to
when
do
that
that?
Velvet Underground box set came out and it had a little peelable banana like the.
Oh, wow, that's cool. Hey, there's
Yeah.
Sean from Now Spinning TV. Good afternoon, good evening. Hello, Sean. I think it's good morning.
Hello, Sean. I know the name Now Spinning TV.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's, I don't know what time it is. Anyway, hello. Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. Um, yeah, and I sold my. I currently don't have a copy of the Velvet Underground. Happy Easter to you. It's 12 p.m. over here Saturday. Oh, Saturday noon. So it's noon. Good afternoon. Yeah. So it's noon in Australia. And happy Easter to you. He'll have Easter in about 12 hours. We'll have Easter in a day and 3 hours. Yeah. Um, well, the story goes is there's some companies that offers a sticker where you can, like a, like a, like a, like this type of sticker, that type of adhesive where you can put your banana if you're missing the banana. You know, it's still a fun record to listen to. Velvet Underground and Nico. Um,
I
yeah.
like her too as a solo artist, and I love all the Velvet Underground albums.
Hmm. Even Lou Reed is fun to listen to.
Oh yeah, he was definitely he definitely, you can't accuse him of making the same record every time. He definitely liked to try different things. You got to give
Yeah,
him that.
and I like that about Neil.
I always wanted a Metal Machine
Mm,
music on vinyl, but that's gotten really expensive recently.
really? I
I
gotta get.
used to see where $50 would be a high priced one, but now they're extremely expensive because it was a very well packaged record. It had kind of like a silver type, that foil type of paper that they would use on stuff back in the 70s. It's a
Hmm.
nice gatefold.
Don't think I've ever had that.
I have it on CD. I found it on CD when I was in my early 20s. It was a German CD copy of it. And I was like, no way, I have to get this. I never thought this would make it on CD.
That is awesome. Yeah, and hey, thank God for the CDs, and I'm glad CDs are around today, and we can find stuff, and we can pick up CDs really cheap. Um, some CDs sound wonderful, and some of those early CDs don't.
And speaking of classical music, you can actually listen to a full symphony a lot of times without having to flip anything.
That's so true, and um, that's one cool thing about a CD player. Yeah, especially if you got a carousel or a magazine.
Yeah.
I don't. You ever seen one of those CD jukeboxes that holds 200 CDs? And you hit the little button, it goes random, and it goes.
Yeah, this friend of mine had one. It looked like those old things that people would put their slides in and do a slideshow on the wall with. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
checking out
absolutely.
some Robin Hitchcock again. I was a big Robin Hitchcock fan. In fact, when I lived in Raleigh in the late 90s, and it had been a while since I'd checked him out. And I still like Robin Hitchcock. I think he's still putting out new music. He's pretty good, man. I like him.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it Soft Boys? I like Soft Boys.
Yeah, yeah, I like them a lot. And the Egyptians, that was a good band that he had.
Yeah. Yeah. But I like discovering, I mean, I'm still a sucker for 80s new wave. The, the, the German estate, I call it the German estate, came in on Sunday. And there's a record up in Wake Forest I've been listening to that I'm like, this is cool. And I like them. So it's a name I never seen. So I enjoy discovering stuff. And Russell it's not. I get a lot of CDs in, and I'm like, who is this? And it's not as fun to put CDs in to check them out. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why, but it's not. Yeah. Anyway, Russell, I'm going to take off. It was good to see you. Thanks
All
for
right.
hanging out. Whoa, what's those? I see a UFO. What's those lights?
Oh, it's just we like to keep it dark around here once it gets to be nighttime.
Right, but I
Got a
think I
little
saw
bit of
some
back.
blue. Oh yeah, Record Store Day is happening this year. There's going to be we're doing it in 2 days this year, like the drops were last year.
Oh, okay.
Plus,
I have
plus
to
Black
see
Friday.
what's coming out. I don't think it has anything to do with any sort of uh, record store day, but the Skull and Roses live album by the Grateful Dead is getting a deluxe reissue. I think June 25th is when they said it was going to be coming out.
Oh, so that's public knowledge now.
Yeah, I found it on their
Okay, cool.
Instagram.
Yeah, I've known about that for a while. I just wasn't able to talk about it. Yeah. Well, cool.
It looks cool to me. It's like if you get the bonus discs versions, it's a whole complete other show from around that time. So
Hey,
you can't go wrong.
Don Henley had it right. I saw in BMWs. I saw a Deadhead sticker on a Cadillac.
Little voice inside my head said, "Don't look back. You can never look back." Yeah.
And it seems like whenever there's a Grateful Dead release, they're really expensive.
They must be making a lot of money from that stuff, because if you can press a 5 LP 180 gram colored vinyl set that sells for $400 and it sells out, you're doing something right.
Well, Jerry's children. They need a little more money,
Yeah.
and Bob Weir needs a little more money.
Yeah, he
And
needs some more 1950s Gibson guitars and stuff like that. Hey, if you can still make money making music and making records nowadays, God bless you. It seems like a lot of people are selling their entire back catalogs to big
yeah,
corporations and stuff just to.
well, what did Bob play? Didn't he play like Gibson 335s or 333s or 334s? What did
Yeah,
Bob
I
play?
think if you're thinking about the red guitar with the sticker on it, that was a 335. That's what I think of when I think of him. But he probably used everything at least once. He even had a real shredder kind of guitar with the Floyd Rose on it that he would use in the 80s with the Dead.
Hmm.
But I don't think he ever did any dive bombs or anything like that. But
I had a 330 something one time. I just didn't like it. I've never kept anything with a humbucker on it.
oh, you don't like humbuckers?
I I never. It was never for me.
I know from reading years ago, Jay Mascis, one of my favorite guitar players of Dinosaur
Mhm.
Jr., he does not like humbuckers either. He prefers the P90s, the single coils, or whatever. He's just not a big humbucker guy.
I I think probably my favorite guitar would be a Telecaster to
Yeah, you
play.
can't go wrong with one of those.
Even though when you think about it, the sound is a little thin in some ways, but other ways it's not. Anyway, I like the Telly. I really like a Telly. I really like a Telly. I got a Jazz Master. I probably should get rid of. Don't play
Is
it.
it a valuable one?
It's a 62.
Oh yeah, you could definitely get rid of that. No problem.
I got a I got a custom shop Stratocaster.
Whoa, yeah, that would be a big ticket item too. I've never been able to. I would have to make payments on it like people would a car. If I got
Hmm.
something like that.
I mean,
5 years.
but when you get them 20 years ago, and you get them kind of cheap, then yeah. But I got an 80s. I think it's an 84 Japanese Telly. That's probably my favorite guitar.
Oh yeah, those '80s Fenders, or I guess were they called Squires or were they just called Fenders? Because those
Some were
those
called Squires and some were Fenders. Mine's a Squire. The
those
only
Japanese Fenders, people are nowadays in love with them. They're supposed to be some of the nicest Fenders you can get.
Well,
Were
they
the ones
definitely were the
made.
nicest in the 80s. Well, I
Yeah.
wasn't playing guitars in the 80s, but when I play an 80s Fender compared to my Japanese, I'm like, yes. The only thing that was cheap about mine was the pick guard. It was a single layer, it wasn't a 5 layer. And
That was probably period correct, I hate to tell
mhm,
you.
it
Because
is,
they used
but
just single ply pick guards up until like the late 50s, I think.
right, but it didn't lay down flat, so I took it off. I still have it. And yeah, so that's interesting. There was one other guitar
Your
that I
Jazzmaster, your Jazzmaster sounds like you've just got like a pot of gold waiting for you if you ever do sell it.
Pot of gold. All right.
The 60, seriously, the 62s, for some reason, a 62 and anything that Fender made that year must have been just magical for them, because I think that any kind of like guitar, Stratocaster, Tele, Jazzmaster is going to be a fortune. And if it's in really good shape and you haven't changed the parts on it, it's going to just be worth even more.
You think I could trade it for a 73 Targa?
What is that? Is that a car?
Yeah, a Porsche 911.
I don't know. I don't know. Cars are like a. I don't know. Some guitars probably do cost more than that now, like a '59 Les Paul or something like that. But I don't know. I think you're sitting on a decent amount of money though with that Jazzmaster.
So
Should you ever decide to sell it?
My early days of being in bands and playing, I went to a friend's house one time, and his father was a guitar player, and he invited me over to the music room, and he says, "Anything you want to play with, let me know." And he said, "What?" And I was, just checking out guitars and stuff like that. And I ended up playing his Tele, and I really liked it. And he didn't tell me, but my buddy told me later that was a first year Esquire.
Oh wow!
That I was playing, and of course it didn't have the decal on it when he got it. He had to.
It was a no caster. It just said Fender on it and nothing underneath it.
I think he had to. I think someone had painted it or something, so he took the paint off, something like that. Yeah, so it was an Esquire, which was, I used to think, what's this fake looking Telecaster Bruce Springsteen is playing? It says Esquire on it, and then I later learned that it was before the.
I think a lot of people did just wind up adding that neck pickup to them anyway, because they were routed to put the neck pickup in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the boss did.
I've never owned a Rickenbacker. I've played them, but I've never spent any time with them to understand if I would like one or not.
I think if I got one, I would only want a 12 string, to be honest with you.
Oh, of course. One time I had a Fender Coronado, and it was a cool guitar.
Those are pretty cool, I think. I've never actually played one, but just the fact that they were a bolt-on semi or hollow body guitar was pretty creative.
It was Feedback City, and they felt really cheap compared to Gibson, and I think I traded it for an old Vox guitar or something.
Did you ever have any of like the ubiquitous 80s amps, like the Roland Jazz Chorus 120 or anything like that? Because I love those.
I still have my JC 120.
Nice.
I had to be Kevin Shields,
Yeah, I haven't. If I ever get like a lot of money for no reason, I'm gonna buy one of those, because so many records I like. That's what they were using for all the clean chorusy tones.
Oh my gosh, Johnny Marr.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Echo and the Bunnymen. I'm pretty sure they were using JCM 120 or not. I'm thinking of Marshalls, JC 120s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Cult, when they were like more of a new wave band, used them.
Yeah.
I
have a Roland offered a JC head, and I have a JC 412 cabinet, and
oh, nice! I saw one of those, so that's cool.
My JC 120 on top of it, and it looks like stack and a half. That kind of look. And but I got too much stuff. I've had a Sovtech amplifier before.
Those are worth a lot now.
They are, but it was cool, but it was really cheaply made.
Yeah, unfortunately, that can be the case. Something can sound really great, but when you go to take it in to be repaired and stuff, the repairman's like, "Oh man, this thing's a mess."
Yeah, exactly. And it was strange. Seems like it was only a few years old, but I was having problems with the pot, and I was like, this shouldn't be happening.
I got a Rivera that was not cheap in
Ooh.
1994 money, and the pots started getting scratchy on that within like a year or so.
I went out and bought so a Vox AC30. I've always wanted one of those. And then I guess maybe in the 90s they got reissued, and I would look at them saying, "Ooh, I would really like one." And then probably in the 2000s they released these little small hybrid 12AX7 single speaker Vox amplifier, and so I went and bought one, and tremolo sounds so good, and
Oh yeah,
it didn't have reverb, but of course, everything was digital then, and I still have that amplifier, and I still like it. It's got, the cloth looks like an old Vox, the handle looks like an old Vox, the Tolex look like an old Vox. I really like that amplifier. Um,
does, does the distortion circuit sound like Brian May?
of course not. Yeah, I don't even think it has. I think it's got a gain button. And it's got the chicken head
I've
knobs.
got a little Vox practice amp, a
That's
Vox
probably what it is.
Pathfinder,
Yes,
and
exactly.
it's all solid state, but the distortion sounds like the Brian May distortion.
You
They
know,
must
I
make them now, so you.
I think mine has a tube in it, Russell, and it is a Pathfinder. Pathfinder. Is it a Pathfinder 10?
I
Um,
think that's what mine is. It's like the smallest, one of the smallest Voxes you can get until you start getting to like the battery
okay.
powered one.
Mine is square. Yours is rectangle.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is square,
I have to
right?
say, for a $80-some amp, if you want the Beatles clean sound and the Brian May lead sound, it's a great amp to get.
Mine may not be a Pathfinder. I did keep the box. Um, yeah, yeah. Yours is yeah. Um, Mine is square. I'll have to look at it sometime to write down that information. Um, I always wanted a um, custom with a Tolex, with a rolling pleated. I always wanted one of those. I never got one. Um, it was always the look. It wasn't necessarily the sound. But does yours Vox sounds like Brian May?
Yeah, the funny thing is that for a while they reissued what they called a Deaky, which was a little homemade amp that John Deacon had made for Brian May.
Hmm.
And he would and it was so low budget, you just had to plug the batteries in to get it to turn off and on. Well, Vox made it into like a nice white Tolex Vox amp. And I have a feeling that the same distortion circuit they were using on that, they just kept putting in the Pathfinder because they're both similar sized amps.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, because me and a friend of mine noticed almost automatically if you turn the gain all the way up and start playing some kind of like romantic classical style solos, it's very Brian May sounding.
Wow. I'm gonna share the screen real quick. I I feel pretty sure mine's a hybrid. It's got a little preamp in it, a little um, yeah. But you see how this one's square, and I'm not saying that's the model I have, but you see how that one's
Yeah.
square. Is yours square or
Yeah.
rectangle?
Mine's a little rectangular one. It's
Okay, yeah,
really
yeah,
small too.
yeah. So this is the ooh, wow. This is the
Extreme
look
close
I
up.
have. Yeah, and I do remember it had a bullfrog in it. Is that right?
Was that a Celestian speaker in
Or
there?
is it a Celestian loudspeaker? I don't know. I don't know which one I have, but I'll have to look at the box and check it out. I just remember when they were available, I was like, "Ooh, this is really cool. I want to get one," and I did. I splurged, uh, but I could be wrong, but I really think that mine has um, a 12AX7. Yeah, and then of course I have a little Marshall, um, a little Marshall battery operated belt clip half stack.
Does that sound pretty good, or is it pretty raspy sounding?
It's horrible. I mean, it's a Marshall. If you had to have something at your desk to play, that would be okay. But yeah, I remember the first time I ever saw an orange amplifier. I want to say it was kind of like a Fender uh, Bassman, with the 212s, and and I just saw that amplifier, and I was like, "Why does it look so cool? Why is it so cool?" And I never got me one. I should have, and now they're stupid expensive. The reissues.
Yeah, all those tube amps, especially if they're made in the UK or USA, they're gonna cost a lot nowadays.
Yeah, just the fact that it was orange and it was gorgeous. But that's the cool thing about looking at the Beatles photographs is looking at their equipment and those. I think they call it the television boxes. They're on stands that look like a television stand.
Yeah, they kind of tilted the speaker cabinet
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
That was pretty cool.
absolutely. So yeah, maybe one day I'll get me a AC 30, AC 15. Um, that would be okay for me too. Yeah, yeah. So much good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
What if you got
there's
a lot?
always tons of effects pedals that can make your life so much better.
I'm afraid to look up the value of my effects pedals now. I really am.
Some of my old ones that I've had for 20 years or longer, I've because I used to not be a big pedal guy till I got older. I'd have like maybe a wah wah or something, but they're getting kind of worn out. They sound okay, but they look like they've been through a couple battles. So I've been buying newer pedals, and I've been keeping them in the boxes instead of just putting them all in like a crate or something like that. And
Hmm.
it keeps them healthy looking.
I remember when I got my Boss tremolo pedal, and it was a tremolo pan pedal, and I remember paying $150 for it, and I
Oh
was
yeah,
and I was like, man, I can't believe I spent that much money. But it was the pedal for me, and I think that's probably a desirable pedal. Um, I was just looking on eBay right now. Uh, yeah, and oh yeah, oh boy, What's the model? PN2, PN2, PN2. Look this baby up, and then of course my course, my CE2. Oh my gosh, I wish I had a dozen of those. They are so good sounding.
I had one of those. I unfortunately, this friend of mine wanted to get some kind of pedal, so I put it in with a pedal he was trading to get it. And I forget, it was some kind of DOD or something delay, but it turned out it didn't even work right. One of the main chips in it had burned out. So instead of getting like a delay kind of sound from your guitar, it just automatically turned everything into this like Brian Eno kind of winds sound repeating over and over again.
Mm-hmm. I've had some interesting pedals over the years, and if I didn't feel like it worked for me, I got rid of it. But I had Electro Harmonics. Darn, what was that pedal called? It was a type of synthesizer pedal. It was about 8 inches by 6 inches, and it had 10 or 12 sliders.
Oh, wow.
It basically gave you one sound. And
One.
Okay, this is one sound. And unless you just write this one song that has this one part that has, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm looking at the completed. Yeah, it might be a $200 pedal now. It's got to be more than that. I got to get my money back plus. But anyway,
I'm sure if you have an old Electro Harmonix anything and that still works, you could probably get a lot more than you originally paid for it.
the only thing I have Electro Harmonics now is the big muff that was Electro Harmonics and Sovtech. They made some that
Okay.
were green, and then they made some that were like turquoise with silver or aluminum, and
Yeah.
with a big old button. And I have one of those, and I had it modified. There was a distortion level, and you turn it this way, and it turns off. I wanted it modified so you could turn it this way, and it would gradually go to silent distortion, rather than go and then drop off.
Yeah.
And so I had an electronic friend modify it for me, so I could get a little bit of distortion. But one of my favorite distortions, and I was not a distortion person. I was more of a let's throw a little fuzz in there or something, or let's boost the signal for a lead or something. And it was called Metal Zone, and it was a Boss pedal. I
Oh
think
yeah, those I think they still make a version of those nowadays.
when I think somebody left it behind, and I was like, I'm gonna try this out just to see what it sounds like. See if I sound like I'm playing heavy metal. And I wasn't. I wasn't playing heavy metal at all. But it was really interesting. I was like, you experiment where you're gonna put it in the chain, and I was like, this sounds really good to crank it up, turn it on for leads. And so I ended up, and then I remember somebody was like, Metal Zone? Because we were very psychedelic in our sound,
Yeah.
and a wash of um, ambient noise pop, if nothing else. And so that was really interesting. Yeah.
I recently got a Electro Harmonix Clone Theory chorus and vibrato, and that sounds great. It
Ooh,
even has
I bet
two
it.
outputs, so you can go into two different amps for the stereo effect.
Yeah.
That's great. That's the kind of sound that I like from a chorus. Is like that late 70s, early 80s style chorus. The like
Yeah.
Joy Division and wire used on everything.
Yes. Yes. Well,
And
darn, it looks like the CE2 has more of a value than the tremolo. Yeah. Yeah. I think that was one reason I really like that tremolo pan is because I could send it to two amplifiers. I could have everything and then it go and let the tremolo pan be
yeah,
last, send it, and then I'm like, "Wah, wah, 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 wah." It was wonderful. But I've never played a clone theory. I've seen them. I like them.
yeah, Electro Harmonix has gotten to where like they're not trying to be totally vintage and building them the same like they used to. They just put them in smaller casings that are more pedal board friendly and stuff, and the
Mhm.
casing is tougher. But they sound great still, I think. I mean, I'm sure there would be a difference between mine and like a 1981, but I think they sound great. They've been making a lot of cool new pedals, and they're not super duper expensive unless you get into the real crazy digital loopers and delays and stuff like that. So you can get a decent chorus or phaser or a fuzz tone kind of pedal from Electro Harmonix for under $100 now, still, which is not
Did
bad.
Electromonics have the Memory Man?
Yes, that is an amazing pedal.
Hmm.
That's like having your own little piece of Eno era Roxy music in a box with different stuff
Really?
you can do with it. Yeah.
I just remembered a pedal I have that I love. It's an Ibanez, Ibanez, and it's the Echo Machine.
Oh wow,
Um,
that just sounds cool.
uh, it was the Ladybug style.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford to get a what was it called? A Space Echo by Roland.
Oh yeah, they still like old ones of those sell for a fortune still.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. A friend of mine got one, and I would call him up every once in a while and say, "Hey, you need help with that mortgage yet?" And uh, no, it wasn't called an Echo Machine. It was called a Space Echo. Boy, boy. I wonder Paul McCartney can't remember anything. And I'm not seeing one of those on eBay. Wow. And you know when when what was that Danny Electro?
Yeah.
Um, they they came out with the or someone released the was it the YouTube guitar?
Is that the one that's just kind of like a single cutaway?
It's pretty much their iconic look.
Oh,
You,
okay.
you know, it's their I'm still not finding that pedal. Is it an Echo Machine? It's got to be an Echo Machine. I said Space Echo.
I have to honestly admit, I've been purchasing like just records here and there because I've become completely hopelessly addicted to guitar effects pedals.
Oh, yeah,
It just seems like if you have just one amp you like and a couple guitars you like, a buttload of effects pedals, you can do whatever you want, really, you know?
that's true. Are you do you get a reverb often?
Yeah, I have never ordered from them, but I had friends do, and they're supposedly a lot better than eBay when it comes to like actually like the product being as described and stuff. Because a lot of times people have had problems with eBay listers claiming something was in a lot better shape than it was with musical equipment, everyone listening, I'm sure that records are a completely different story. Don't ever worry about going to Record Crate's online website
There
on eBay.
you go. So here it is. Russell, can you see the share? Am I sharing?
Yeah, that was the sound tank, right? They had a whole bunch of
Yes,
the
sound take echo
yeah,
machine. Yes, and,
nice.
and this was
I
called
like
the
it.
Ladybug. And I remember liking the pedal so well. I'm like, well, I'm going to go and buy a backup one. And they weren't available in the stores anymore. I think it was $80 when it was new.
Yeah, they weren't super. Yeah, look at them now, but yeah, they weren't super pricey back then.
Wow,
Wow, it must be a good pedal if they are able to sell them for that much.
it is a very nice pedal. Darn it, I will never get it back up now. I will never get it back up. But yeah, pedals are fun. That's for sure.
Yeah,
That's for sure. Oh yeah, yeah. So Dan Electro had that guitar. I think it was called the U2, and I think when they were new, they were, you know, they were introduced again. Someone purchased the name, and I don't know if they purchased the tooling or if they just recreated everything. But they were like, I don't know, 189 or 229 when they came back,
yeah,
and later learned that they were masonite and this and that and this and that. And then little by little, they started bringing other things back, like the bullhorn bass guitar,
yeah. Those are cool too.
and then they had started introducing pedals, and then they had these
Yeah,
little bitty little bitty pedals. They were teeny tiny. They would just fit on the palm of your hand. And
weren't they all named after food too?
I remember
It
there
was
was a
like,
hot pastrami,
yeah, yeah.
and I just
I
remember,
love mine. I got a DC 59 on the strength of Sid Barrett and Jimmy Page used one. And I was like, okay, this guitar's not even $300 and those guys used it. All
which
right.
one was
Oh,
it?
so it's the double cutaway version of the U2. I think the pickups and everything would be the same. It's just the body style's different.
Uh,
It's the
okay.
one that Sid would use for like the Interstellar Overdrive kind of songs,
Mm-hmm.
and Jimmy Page would use it for like the any kind of slide or sort of like down
Oh
tuned
yeah,
rock
yeah,
rock
yeah.
sounding. The pickups, the lipstick tube pickups, man, they sound great, especially with both of them on together. It's the kind of jingle jangle the Birds and REM would die for.
Russell, I've had a Silvertone guitar that has the Silvertone guitar case with a built-in amplifier.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool, but as cool as it was, you were really limited, and the neck was so small and so fat. It was like holding a bar of soap, and
I will say, I think the late 90s Dan Electros, they made the one improvement is they actually put a truss rod in it so the necks wouldn't warp. Because old vintage Dan Electros don't have truss rods. So you got to be careful about what kind of strings you put on and stuff.
uh-huh.
And I think they made the neck scale like a more player friendly. Like it's the frets are spaced apart in a more
Uh-huh.
normal, like Gibson kind of way, and the neck isn't too fat or too thin. It's a very comfortable neck.
Do you still have that Danny Electro?
Yeah,
Very cool.
I might have to let it make a guest appearance. Let me turn on. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's see.
Perhaps I'm going to
Camera.
end the stream right now.
Okay, I'll
I'll go
whip it
ahead.
out.
Don't go anywhere, okay?
Oh, I won't.
Okay. Good night, everybody.